your partner rebids 2 clubs. Now you could raise the 3 clubs, but partner might play for a slightly lesser hand, right? If we would take 3 clubs as just more of a courtesy raise, you're actually truly invitational here. This is not just a courtesy raise, right? So what do you do with this hand? 2-no would be invitational, right? So that would certainly show your 11 points. There are a couple of things that I don't love about 2-no. All right, you've got 3 little spades. Certainly if you play in no trump, we figure the opponents are likely to lead spades, right? They're probably going to attack an unbid major.
Yep.
So that is one concern. I mean, we understand you bid 1-no the first time because you had to. That doesn't necessarily mean you're playing it there. So yeah, if we bid 2-no and we invite in no trump and whether partner raises us to 3 or leaves us in 2, we could have some trouble with the spades. Also, if we bid 2-no, we haven't shown partner the nice club support, have we? Partner's probably going to think your points are more like in diamonds and maybe a spade card, right? Partner might expect something more like, you know, your king jack of clubs or the king jack of spades, and your ace of hearts is the ace of diamonds kind of thing, right? Because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like you have the other suits. So there's actually a way that you can invite and show partner good clubs in the process. Any ideas? So, yeah, I mean, 4 clubs would show a better hand, but the thing is when we do belong in 3-no, 4 clubs has carried us past 3 now.
Yep.
So we generally try to avoid bids that carry us past 3-no. All right, you ready for this one? It's going to look really weird because I bet you Wilt never showed you this one.
Oh, ick.
By the way, this only works when the opening bid has been a heart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
This sequence only exists with an opening bid of a heart and a forcing no trump. And there's actually some very good thought behind it. 2 spades is completely artificial. And if you did this to your partner, hopefully the opener would realize you cannot have a spade suit, right? Because the one thing we know is one situation when partner opens a heart and we don't bid a forcing no trump is anytime we have 4 or more spades, right?
Yes.
We don't go through the forcing no trump.
Yes.
We bid a spade.
Yes.
We do our normal thing. We bid our 4-card major up the line, right? All right. This is what is often referred to as the impossible 2 spades. Now, it doesn't come up very often. But if you ever see it, so if I do this to you sometime, you will ring this, right? All right. So this is again just we're trying to get you through, and I would be very cautious about doing something like this to a partner that I never discussed this with. Because as much as we would like to subscribe to ASBAF, all strange bids are forcing, and that opener won't pass. I've seen situations where people talk themselves into, responder had spades and for some reason didn't bid them the first time. But if you trust your partner, if you trust that your partner cannot have more than 3 spades, since there was no spade response the first time, hopefully you could realize, okay, I don't know what this is, but it can't be spades, and I shouldn't pass. So this is how you would show partner, I'm invitational, and I have really good clubs. Where would you like to be? You're showing this kind of hand. We know that your funny 2 spades isn't implying support for hearts, right? Because you would have just bid hearts now, right? You would have just jumped to 3. You would have invited in hearts, done your normal thing with your invitational with the major. Since it's not as clear with this hand, because you don't know exactly, I mean, you know partner has at least 5 hearts, and you know they have at least 2 clubs, or at least 3 clubs, right? But other than that, you don't know what kind of hand partner has. You don't know whether opener's balanced 5-3-3-2, whether they're actually, maybe they're 5-5 in hearts and clubs, maybe they have a diamond void or a spade void, you know. I mean, we don't know. Because partner's got to bid 2 clubs with a lot of different hand types. So if you kind of tell your story and say, partner, I've got invitational values, I have clubs, pick the spot. Partner could retreat to 3 clubs, and that would say, okay, yeah, we're going to play it here. Partner could bid 2-no or 3-no. If they're balanced and they're comfortable with playing the game at no trump, you know, maybe partner's got a spade card or 2. They're like, yeah, I'm okay with 3-no. They'll probably attack the unbid major. I think I'm ready for that. If partner's very distributional, they might try 5 clubs. What if they have 5 hearts and 5 clubs and then a singleton or void and one of the unbid suits? Now 5 clubs very well may be a better game than 3-no. So, this actually paints a pretty good picture of your hand. And again, if you are going to, whether it's courtesy raise or whether it's this little, this is kind of a conventional raise. They said that we just call it the impossible 2 spades. And convention doesn't really have any name other than that. You should have 5 card support for partners minor to do this, because remember, opener has only promised 3. So I would probably not do this with only 4 clubs. I would like to have 5. And by the way, you can do it for the diamond suit too, right? If partner's rebid is 2 diamonds and your 5 clubs are 5 diamonds instead, you can use it there. You can use it with either minor.
If opener has 6 hearts and 4 clubs, we learned in our little 2/1 book that there's a good reason to say I'm 6-4. In other words, it's I'll bid the major, the 6 card suit, then I'll bid a 4 card suit, and then I'll go back.
Okay.
Would it happen with clubs, or is that usually just
this is a good question. Everybody caught what Joanne said. 6-4 hands. So there is only one 6-4 hand where I don't rebid my 6 card suit right away. See you later. Have fun playing with Mark. And that is the hand where you have 6 spades, 4 hearts, and then whatever in the minors.
That's okay.
If you have 6 spades and 4 hearts, the auction, and we should probably wrap up on this one because it's about that time. You normally do this. Why? Well, you might catch partner with better hearts than spades, and so sometimes this will get you to a superior part score or even a game. So sometimes 2 hearts is a partner wants to bid a game. They might have thought, oh, this is kind of a misfit. They have a singleton spade and not enough to force the game. And then all of a sudden you catch partner with 11 points and 4 or 5 hearts, and it's like, whoa, it's a game now. Or at least a hand that might invite in hearts. So you can find that fit in the other major. And whether you play in hearts or spades, again, from kind of a duplicate scoring standpoint, whether you play in hearts or spades doesn't matter, right? Because they score the same way. So, and then anytime partner preferences back to 2 spades, you have a guaranteed 8 card spade fit, right? And if you want, with a good 6-4, you can then bid on. For example, you can now bid 3 spades to invite a game. Or 4 spades if you thought your hand was good enough, but more likely 3. So when we're 6 spades and 4 hearts, this tends to work out really well.
Thank you.
If the 4 card suit is a minor, once upon a time, either 4 diamonds or 4 clubs, either or. If I open a spade and partner bids a forcing no trump, the way to go, I think, is just to tell partner about that 6th spade. Because if you bid 2 of a minor, there's no guarantee the partner's going to bid again. That is not forcing. So if you bid 2 clubs and 2 diamonds, and partner has a weak hand and a strong preference for the minor, they might pass even when they have a doubleton spade for you. Because Because if you bid 2 clubs or 2 diamonds, they're going to take you for having only 5 spades, right? And you may not get a chance to show the 6th spade. And with the scoring premium on the majors, the thinking is, you know what, it's more important to show the major. That is pretty standard practice. There was a time, apparently a long time ago, it was pretty standard to bid the 4-card minor and then hope to get a chance to show the major. But especially in duplicate, where people are sticking their noses in and the auctions tend to get competitive. If you want to compete, if you want a partner to be able to do the right thing, you probably better mention that you have 6 spades. Be willing to risk missing a fit in a minor. So.
Thank you.
I suspect that's probably plenty for week 1.
That's good. So, I think so. Very good.
Did we have video video functioning? Both.
Yes,
Did you ran video the whole time? And motion video, that is, not just still shots.
Nope.
And we sent you some pictures.
Oh, you already sent pictures too, huh? All right.
You want to say what
Good.
next week is about, really quick?
Oh yes, next week. So the plan for next week is we're going to move away from the majors, and we're going to look at minor suit openings, and in particular minor suit openings when partner isn't responding a major. Because I don't remember what's on the chart. Where is everybody as far as inverted minors?
We're there.
All right, you have.
You don't want to.
Yeah.
You have an agreement, or you are. You've studied it, but kind of shaky on it, or do you feel fairly comfortable with it?
We play it.
Okay. All right. We'll try
I think I missed all
and
that.
remove some of the shake. And by the way, I should mention that again. Have any of you been reading my columns on inverted minors by chance?
Oh, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Because people may not know where to find it.
Yeah, where do you find that?
Well, I didn't send it around because some players are shaky on inverted minors already. And so I wanted you to, if they read that article, it would, and also what Wilt taught us, it would just be a total hurricane.
Well,
gonna have a
one of the
hurricane next
reasons
week.
that I am breaking it up into pretty small chunks. I just submitted the 4th installment, and there may end up being one more, or this may be the last one because we could. But I've basically broken it up. So there's a. Are all of you aware of the district newsletter?
No.
Okay, so we are part of, as far as ACBL is concerned, we are part of District 17, which is all of Colorado, Arizona, includes Las Vegas, parts of Utah, Wyoming, all of New Mexico, even stretches into El Paso. It's a very wide geographical district because a lot of that area is not as populated, so that's how ACBL has this kind of strange boundary. So. And there was, until last year, or early this year, actually, there was if you're an ACBL member, you got not just the Bridge Bulletin, but also, what was the newsletter from the Western Conference? Does that?
It was on
Our folks-
newsprint, the
Yeah.
thing we got on
Yeah.
newsprint.
Yeah.
And then that stopped coming within the past year?
I don't remember getting that.
Yeah. It's possible if you're not an ACBL member, or if your membership is lapsed, then you might not have gotten it. So that was what they called the Western Conference, and it was multiple districts covering most of the Western U.S. And essentially, what happened was, long story short, District 17 was proposing, because that newsletter was a very expensive production, and they're trying to move things more of an electronic direction. And they wanted the Western Conference to start publishing that paper electronically, And apparently at least one of the California districts wasn't really on board with that. And they said, we can save tens of thousands of dollars in mailing and printing expenses, and they didn't want to do it. And then essentially, District 17 said, screw you, we secede from the Western Conference. That's essentially what happened. And I think they tried to salvage it, and then I think one of the other remaining districts actually said, no, we like this idea too. So the Western Conference, for the most part, doesn't really exist anymore. Now, District 17 didn't want to leave all the Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona people, et cetera, out to dry. They're like, no, we'd still like to have a publication. So it's just called, and I think that this is the old name, but it was part of the old paper. They call it District 17 Scorecard.
Right.
It is available electronically only. You will not get anything by mail. Rather than publishing every month, it comes out alternate months. So I'm writing a column for that, and so the inaugural District 17 electronic scorecard was in April. So there are 3 editions out. There's April, there's June, there's August, and October will probably be coming out in the next week to 10 days. If you want to find my most recent column, the quickest way to get there is through my club, castlerockbridge.com, and I actually have a link to it on the main page of Castle Rock Bridge. What I don't have a link to on the Castle Rock page that link will take you to the 3rd installment of the Inverted Miner series, but there are 2 that came before. And they're not long articles, and like I said, each article is, we've kind of taken one piece of it and focused on it, so if you take them one at a time, I don't think you'll find it too overwhelming. I've tried